Hey dudes, welcome back to the channel. I'm recording this video actually in the middle of another video. I'm currently putting on my highway bars on this bike, and I encountered something that everybody's going to encounter at some point in their life, and that would be a stripped screw head. So the last screw on my exhaust side foot controls is completely stripped and it ain't coming off. So I thought it'd be cool to put together a video of how to actually deal with that. It is a total pain in the ass, but if you have the right tools, you can get it done. So let's go over what I've done so far. All right, so the offender is in here. As you can see, I've actually got a piece already in there, and I'll explain what's going on there. But what you're gonna do is you have to drill out. You have to drill out the screw, which sucks. So you gotta make sure it's completely straight. Drill in there, and then you use this. This is an extractor. And the process that we're doing here is called drill and tap. So basically drill into the screw, and then we insert this and then smack it with a hammer to get it stuck in there. And you'll notice the direction on this is actually, so this screws in like a screw, lefty, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. This actually goes the opposite. So when you're screwing this in now, you screw it the opposite direction, it tightens itself in there, and then you keep turning it and it pulls itself out. That's the process. This sucker's really on there. So I already drilled it out. I inserted the extractor and I screwed in a little bit, and I'm still not able to really get it to turn. So what I've done is I've used our handy dandy blaster, PB blaster. Everybody should have this in their garage. And I've sprayed it once, walked away, came back, sprayed it twice. I'm gonna let it sink in there. So it's basically going in there and it's anti-seizing compound. And then we're gonna hit it with our handy dandy heat gun, and hopefully we can start to actually turn it. So I'm gonna spray it again, just for shits and gigs. And I'm going to spray it from the top here. Let that work in there. We'll come back and maybe we can actually start to turn this and get this stupid screw up. All right, so I've let the PB sit for a while. Now I'm actually going to try and turn it. And if you notice, I'm not turning like you would to screw something in. I'm turning counterclockwise. So let's try this. Yep. All right, so here's a fun update, guys. I had shown you that I had the extractor going in, and I was going to attempt to pull it out with the extractor. I got the extractor in, and I started to turn that extractor, and the extractor broke. So now I have a broken extractor inside of a seized bolt that's holding on my foot pegs. Or not my foot peg, my exhaust side foot controls. So Anthony joined us. We can all say hi to Tony. Let's say hi to Tony. Look, it's Tony.
What's up, dudes?
Hi, Tony. So we're kind of just playing around trying to figure out what to do now, because I don't know if you've ever used an extractor, but they are extremely hard steel. So my drill bits aren't doing anything to them to drill them out. We have a couple ideas we're going to try and do, but this might be something you guys encounter at some point in your life, and it's a freaking bear. So one of the options we have is you could potentially take a screwdriver and you can hit it on like an angle, kind of tapping it along, maybe try and move that bolt out. We can't really get a purchase on it, which kind of sucks. We could try using a Dremel tool with a stone bit, try and drill out the extractor, or grind out the extractor, I guess. We could try and drill around the extractor, little holes, maybe pull it out. There's definitely a bunch of options. I'll let you know. All right, dudes, so we're on to day 2 of this little adventure here. I tried a whole bunch of stuff last night, different drills and stuff, and eventually I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna blast it with PB as much as I can, let it sit overnight and try it tomorrow. So today I've got a couple of options, and I'm gonna try to pull out this this extractor from this bolt here, or I guess it's a screw, it's not a bolt. I've got diamond tipped hole saws, so these are expensive, but potentially should work. Unfortunately for these, we gotta keep them wet, so I'm gonna have to be dunking this thing in water about every 5 seconds as I try to drill out this extractor. And then I've also got a Dremel. Where the heck's my Dremel? Got a Dremel with a diamond tip here, so This is actually making a little bit of progress cutting through this extractor, which is extremely hardened steel. but that will be a very long process. So I'm hoping that the hole saws will do it a little bit quicker. Either way, this is going to be a long, tedious process, but there's not really a lot of other options. We could potentially take this thing to a like a welding shop, and there is a process they can do that essentially disintegrates the metal inside of the frame there. That's not an option I'm really interested in doing. But this is it, guys. Let's try and drill through this thing. Hey, so side note, guys. As you can see, I'm wearing eye protection and hand and gloves. This stuff really does kick up a whole bunch of crap. You don't really want to get little bits of steel in your eyeball, so wear your eye protection. You look like a goon, but what are you gonna do, right? Alright guys, so here's an update. I've been working on getting out this extractor with this 1/4 inch diamond tipped hole saw. I am making some progress. I've been doing this for about an hour and a half at this point. And I've maybe gone 1/8 of an inch, somewhere between 1/16 and 1/8 of an inch. So this is gonna be a long process because I think I have somewhere between 1/2 inch and 1 inch of the extractor sitting in this stupid thing. I'm probably gonna have to get a new blade at some point, or a new drill, but it is working. I mean, I am getting through this. As soon as I can get that extractor piece out, I'm gonna drill all the way through it. Maybe try and extract it again, maybe not. We'll see. But if you're in this predicament, this is really your only options, right? The Dremel just isn't moving fast enough. I think I'd be here for a million years if I worked on the Dremel. But that would go through it. If your intent is to get through it and you only have a Dremel, I don't know how many bits you're gonna go through, but the diamond bits are grinding it down. It just might take a million years. Wish me luck, dudes. Alright guys, I got some good news here. So, I actually was able to get the extractor out, which is fantastic. I just kept blasting it with that 1/4 inch hole saw, a diamond hole saw, and I eventually got a full core around the thing, and it just kind of disintegrated and pulled out. I could actually see my original pilot hole to put the extractor in further than where I drilled with the hole saw, because it was actually a smaller diameter. So at this point, my game plan is I'm probably going to re-drill out the pilot hole with a larger size drill bit, go all the way through this thing, since the location of where I'm drilling here, there's nothing on the other side of the screw. It's actually just the empty side of the other side of the frame. And then I'm just going to blast the thing with PB, heat it with a heat gun, let it expand and then contract, expand and contract. Maybe do that this entire week, really, just to saturate this sucker with anti-seize stuff. And then I'm going to try an extractor again and see if I can actually pull out this screw. I'm going to try and show you guys what it looks like right now. I realize I haven't done that yet. It'll be kind of difficult just based on, you know, geography of where this thing is and getting a camera and a light in there. But I'll try and show you guys what I'm talking about here. And wish me luck for this next step. This is the bolt in question here, right in there. You can't really see it. Obviously, you can see that the head is completely stripped out. I don't know why Harley puts such crap screws on these things. You can kind of see the middle hole there. That's actually my pilot hole, and where that middle hole starts, that kind of black spot in the middle, that's the mount that I cored out with the hole saw. So this just got really weird. It's like a day later. Like I said, I've just been blasting this thing with PB and heating up and letting it expand. I came down here and I noticed the foot controls that were still attached by that one screw were really loose. I could move them up and down really easily. So I thought, you know what, at this point, why don't I just try and stick a big screwdriver in there and see if I can pull it out. And I started to twist it, and the entire head of the screw came off, see? So right now, I'm at this point. It's my brake control. As you can see, the bolt or the screw is just sticking out. So this actually opens up my options a little bit here. Before I try and drill this thing out, I'm going to try and get some channel locks on it and see if I can just unscrew it. That would be a lot easier than trying to have to drill it out and then do another extractor. If you're in the same kind of scenario, if you can take the head of the screw off and then try and wrench it, maybe that's your best bet. I'm hoping that will solve my little problem here. If not, we're going the extractor. We're gonna tap it, drill it, tap it, and try and extract counterclockwise, you know, like I tried originally. That's it, guys. We're done. We're finally done. Look at this stupid thing. So needless to say, I'm pretty freaking thrilled. This took several days of my life away from me to take this stupid bolt out, or screw. I keep saying bolt. It's a screw, guys. It's done now. So to recap, this is what happened, and hopefully you guys don't fall in this scenario, but if you do, this is what I did. All right, the screw was stuck in there. I was taking off all my screws to put a new piece of parts on my bike. Everything came off just fine except for the last screw on the front of my exhaust side foot controls. So pretty much instantly completely stripped away the head of the screw. So what I did was I decided to drill into it and try and put an extractor in. Extractor is you drill in, put the extractor in, it goes in counterclockwise. And then eventually it bites enough where counterclockwise of the thing keep turning counterclockwise and it'll pull the screw out with it. Unfortunately, as soon as I started to torque that extractor, the extractor broke. Extractor is extremely hard steel. So what I did is I ended up using a diamond tipped hole saw and spent a couple hours on it. Eventually drilled out the whole thing, cored it out, which left me with just a hole and my screw. I kept using PB on it. If you don't know what PB is, it's this stuff, PB blaster, and a lot of heat treatments. So heat it up with a heat gun, let it cool down, heat it up with a heat gun, let it cool down. Did that for a couple days. I came in today, I saw that it looked like it was moving a little bit. So I tried to use a bigger screwdriver and to tie and twist it. The head came off, but that also meant that all my foot controls could come off, so I get a much bigger space of the screw coming out of the threaded hole. Then I just used some grips and I screwed it out. If that didn't work, I would have used another extractor. I would have drilled into the screw, gotten much further in, and tried to extract it that way. I hope you guys got something out of this other than watching me be miserable for a couple days. It's a lot of work, and it's honestly the worst experience you can have. It's the worst thing that can happen on your bike, in my opinion, other than crashing it. But when you're working on it, this sucks. But I hope you guys can take something from this and learn from my mistakes and ride safe, dudes.